Big Six.
Number one, new Saudi Companies Law 2022, key changes and next steps for companies in KSA. The National Law Review reports that on June 28, 2022, the Saudi Cabinet of Ministers approved the new company law, and it was published in the official gazette, Al Qura newspaper. On July 4th, 2022, the new law will come into effect on or around January 1, 2023, replacing the previous companies law, which was issued in October 2015, and the law of professional companies issued September 2019.
So the law is not totally official yet, but we sort of know some things about it, and that will be, as you just said, released right before the law becomes into effect. But it removes restrictions on company names, now allows for greater flexibility on naming a company. The new law largely unifies Saudi rules related to commercial companies and introduces a number of new changes to the rules of establishing and the governance of JSCs. Some other things, Richard, these are really sort of major advances. We say reforms a lot, but these are advances for the private sector. And we're going to include this article to the National Law Review, which really breaks it down nicely into a sort of chart so you can see how the old and new laws will work. This one's interesting.
Yeah, that link that's really a major reason I wanted to see it in here, because that the article has a comparison of key provisions, old and new. And I think it's telling. So this new law is intended to unify, Saudi rules on commercial companies, professional and nonprofit companies, all under one law. I think it's interesting that it replaces new laws that were introduced in 2015 and new laws that were finished in 2019. You can see them trying to be responsive, trying to develop and install a regulatory environment that is attractive to investment, that eliminates hurdles to establishing a business, any number of things that a potential investor is considering when they look at Saudi Arabia. So it's interesting that it came so quickly on the back of these other ones, because clearly they've gotten feedback. Mm-hmm. Said, okay, those are changes, that's fine, but we need these other things. And this is, I think, is intended to really bring everything together, bring it up to what they think is the most accessible means possible and the most uniform codes possible, because they really need to attract investment. So this is I think it's interesting, and that's why it's a one big. It's the yellow. Definitely look at the article.
Mm-hmm. We talked a little bit with this with Chris Johnson about this a few weeks back, Richard, just sort of in general. But it would be good to have him back with us when the law is officially published before it's enacted. But yeah, it sort of is very, like you just said, to echo, it's sort of lean startup of Saudi to put some changes out there and then listen to what people say and then adjust. It's cool to see that.
Well, outside of any investment proposition, the first thing you do is look at the legal environment, and it's been a little bit of a moving target. Mm-hmm. And so, this will, if it's simplified and it's easily accessible and it's consistent across all sources, then it's just going to be a much easier access environment.
Yeah, and an easier environment in which to invest, which is good.